everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you're joining us from, and welcome to another episode of Outreachy chats. And this one is a unique one because it's a coffee chat that involves the Outreachy mentors, the Outreachy community coordinators, and this is the first series. And it's really going to be fun because we're going to be having several series like this. And the goal of this chat is to get to highlight and spotlight our mentors and community coordinators, highlight the awesome work they are doing, talk more about their projects, their community, and also to get insights from a lot of things that they are doing. So if you're just joining us and probably you're looking for a way to give back to the open source community, this chat is a very helpful one because you're going to be hearing a lot of things from people who have been doing these things. So sit back. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that so that you can get notifications and turn on the notification bell so you can get notification when we put out any chat like this. So today I have some awesome persons with me and I'm going to be bringing them on board right now. Hi folks, you're welcome.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Hi everyone. So we'll start with introduction. So we're going to have the introduction in this format. You're going to tell us your name, where you're joining us from, tell us more about your community and also your project. So I'm going to start with Stefan, but before I bring you on board, let me introduce myself. So Omotola Eunice Omotayo. I'm one of the Outreachy organizers, and at Outreachy, I work as the community manager. So it's nice to meet everyone. We'll start the introduction now with Stefan. Hi, Stefan.
Hey everyone. So my name is Stefan Hajnoczi. I'm the org admin for the QEMU organization. QEMU is an open source emulator. It's used to run virtual machines. For example, if you have a virtual server that's hosted in a cloud or a hosting provider, there's a fair chance that QEMU, or at least part of the stack, that software stack involved, is running that virtual server. So that's what we do. And I recently moved to Canada, so that's my location.
Great, thank you so much once again for joining us. So we move to the next person, which is Paarth. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi Motola and everyone, I'm Paarth Agarwal from India and I'm currently serving as a mentor from Wagtail. Wagtail is an open source CMS based on Django and we have one of the largest open source community out there. So glad to see you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know the mentors and community coordinators are really busy, so it's really awesome and we appreciate this time that you've set aside to join us. So let's move on to Nmeso. Hi, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. My name is Nmeso, and I currently live in Abuja, Nigeria. So I currently mentor for the Oppia Foundation, and we're a non-for-profit edutech company. And what we try to do is we try to make sure that education is accessible to children in underserved areas of the world, and we are basically volunteer helped, and we have like a couple of awesome people working together to help us achieve our goal of making sure that everybody is having equal and quality education. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And the awesome thing about this is we all know that Outreachy is a remote paid internship program, right? So mentors, community coordinators, and interns get to work from everywhere across the globe. I mean everywhere. But the good thing about having chat like this is you get to meet the other person from the other end of the world, and who knows, you might get to meet someone in your local area, just like I'm getting to know that I'm in the same city with Miso, so which is great. Thank you so much once again for joining. So we'll move to Garrick now. Hi,
Okay.
how are you doing?
Hello. Very well. I'm doing very well. My name is Jarek Potiuk. I'm Polish, but I just moved to Slovakia, so similar like Stefan, I just changed the country, and I'm calling from Slovakia. And my project is Apache Airflow, which is under like the Apache Airflow is under the Apache Software Foundation umbrella. And then we hosted, we already had like 2 rounds of mentorship with Apache Airflow, 5 mentees over the last couple of years. And I'm happy to be able to join and share the experiences from that, because I think it's Outreachy is super valuable initiative, and we had some really interesting things to share with people who want to participate in it.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much. So once again to our audience, if you're just joining us, this is the mentors of chat. We have our mentors, community coordinators in the house today, and today they're going to be giving us insights about what motivates them to be contributing to open source as a mentor, what motivates them to join Outreachy as a mentor. They're going to be telling you what they enjoy most about being a mentor, what they've learned so far, what they wish they've learned before they join the program. And they're going to be giving you insights on how you can join their community, the models they have, and everything they have in place for you to join them, and why you should join as a mentor. So the next question I'm going to be asking is I know a lot of persons join as a mentor, or a lot of persons are coordinating their particular project community because of something. There should be a goal, something that motivates you. I mentioned the last time I was catching up with the mentors that I enjoy what I do at Outreachy as a community manager, because I really enjoy engaging with people. I love supporting people. It's something I do for passion. So my question to the mentors now, and I'm going to start with Nmeso, is what motivated you to join Outreachy as a mentor? Hi, Nmeso. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I was an intern first before I became a mentor for Outreachy, and I was opportune to work with Oppia for the project I mentioned earlier. So we try to make education accessible to children in underserved areas. So why did I choose to be a mentor? So being an intern, one, it is very okay. Living in Nigeria, we know how bad education in the public sector is, but it really isn't. That is like we don't get to know how deep it is until you are in the field, looking at the situation at hand and seeing that. I knew that there was a lot more work to be done based on that, and I knew that being a mentor, regardless of how stressful it is, would be like a step in the right direction. It is going to be something that would help a lot more people coming after me and after our generation. And so wanted to be able to contribute more to the project, regardless of what I had done in the contribution period. And so yeah, these are major motivations for being a mentor right now. Yeah.
Awesome. I think yeah, you can go on, please.
Sorry, continue. No,
Okay.
I wanted to ask if there are other prompts. I may have missed that.
Oh, okay. That's just it. I think you did justice to that by telling us what actually motivated you. It's actually good when we have people who are fast through this stage. I mean, as an intern, you understand the value that your mentors gave you, and you're ready to give it back, which is awesome. Thank you so much for that. So we'll move over to Jarek now.
Yeah.
Tell us
thanks.
what motivated you to join Outreachy as a mentor.
Okay, that's a very interesting question. Like the first thing, like I joined Outreachy as a mentor because somebody in the Apache Software Foundation just distributed the information that there is such a program. I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't know what it involves. But I found the open source and foundations like the Apache Software Foundation as a place where it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you're from. The only thing that matters is like what you do, how good you are in what you're doing, and like how well you communicate with people, and how much you engage with the project you are working on. And then I realized that many people don't realize that, and for me that was like, hey, let's make it open and available for others who do not know that they can actually participate in such a great community, in the way that like it doesn't matter where they are from, it doesn't matter like what the background they have and history. It's just important like how can they be participants in the community. And for me that was really great to understand that this opens up a lot of opportunities for people all around the world who had no chance, like many of us had chances to participate and work in different places and earn more money and be part of the community. So that motivated me first. And then the second motivation, like the second step of the motivation was like, and I can tell about that a little bit later, maybe after the first one and the first round, when one of our mentees, Ephraim from Nigeria as well, he was the intern in our project, and after 2 years, I think he became not only committer but also PMC member in our project, and he's like one of the most active people in the project and earning a lot of money from like being part of like he was hired by a company who is big stakeholder. So for me it was like, yes, it works. It actually works. So that was the main motivation, that I can actually help people who had less chances to participate in the IT community in general.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing those motivation with us. I picked three things actually. I picked the power of networking. Open source is open, right? Open source allows everybody to participate, and the fact that you have someone who believes in what you know, the values you have, and recommend you like, oh, this is something you find interesting to do, which is something that stood out for you, which is one. And another thing I think is because from what you just said, seeing the value of what you do, the value of your work, that's your intern coming back, getting a full-time job, a well-paying job, and being one of the strategic persons on the project, which is something that can motivate someone more to do more. So thank you so much for sharing that. We'll move over to Paarth. Hi, Paarth.
Hi, Motola. So before being an Outreachy mentor, I was an intern at Wagtail. I did like a summer internship over there, and by the end of my internship, I was in love with the community. So I want to remain engaged with them as long as I can. So I found out that Wagtail's participating in Outreachy, and I asked my previous mentor, Thibaut, if I can offer any help. So he asked me if I want to mentor a participant. And I was like, wow, that's something I can do. Like I can help new contributors, I can bring more people to open source, and that's how I got into mentoring. So I think the main to give back to the community that I received so much from.
Awesome. Giving back to a community that you've received so much from, and giving back, helping other people to pass through the same process successfully, just like you. Thank you for sharing that. And Stefan, how tell us what motivated you to join the program?
Yeah, well, I mean, I share a lot of the great things that I've just heard the others say. I have a lot of those same motivations. Giving back. Obviously, all of us started open source somewhere, and this is a great opportunity. Being a mentor is that opportunity. But I think it's already been said a little bit, so I'll come from a different angle. So one of the other reasons why I wanted to be involved in Outreachy was to help grow our community, because we'd done some internships before and we knew they can be successful. And it's so fun to work with talented people who are enthusiastic about open source and want to get started. And that's exactly why ultimately our org at QEMU decided to also do Outreachy internships, because we can grow our community. It's a really great way to I think everyone wins from Outreachy, and it's a very nice system. And so I think that's my reason.
Great, great. Yeah, wanting to grow the open source community project, and especially the community that you belong to. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. So now we've heard of the why you joined, the what motivated you. We've listened to that. Now a lot of persons are joining us, our audience, and even me especially wants to know how did you join the community as a mentor? Like, how? What are the paths you took? Someone mentioned that they were once an intern. It's easier for them to communicate with their mentor. That I want to give back. Jarek also mentioned that okay, this is what I do before, and I feel like someone introduced me. So I want to know. Our audience wants to know how did you join the community as a mentor? So let's start with Miso now. Hi, Miso.
Hi, sorry about that. How did I join? So, just before I completed my internship, I got an invite from the community coordinator. He asked if I wanted to mentor for the next round, and I was very happy to do that. And with that, I got to think around like projects that, from my experience, projects that I felt like could be, worked on, and then had submitted the project, which got accepted, and yeah, here I am. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for coming up with ideas on projects that other interns coming in can work on. Yeah, great. Okay, let's move over to Pata. Why did you join? How did you join the Outreachy mentorship program?
I basically asked if I can volunteer to help the community in any way during Outreachy, and that's when my mentor invited me. So I basically co-mentored a project alongside LB Ben Johnston. It was his original idea to propose for the project. So, yeah, that's how I got involved.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being a co-mentor for the Wagtail project. Awesome. So let's move over to Stefan. Hi, Stefan.
Hi. So yeah, about getting involved. I mean, I personally got involved because we as an org wanted to participate, and I was organizing the internships. But for people who are thinking about how to get involved, usually what we do is we send out an email before any round of internship starts, a call for mentors, where we're looking for people who have project ideas, who want to be mentors. And when I send that out, I actually usually go through our Git logs and I have a look at who was active in the past half year or year. So I know who is kind of a regular contributor who might be interested in taking on an intern this round. And so that's how I do it. So that tends to work pretty well. I also keep a list of past mentors and I contact them again. Most of them want to keep doing it. So if you are in a community and you would like to mentor, I think once you've participated a little bit, see who the org admin is and chat with them. And you can, chances are you can probably join.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. For our audience that are just joining us, this is coffee chats with the Outreachy mentors and community coordinators, and we are discussing about their projects, their community, what motivated them to join, how they joined, and also they are going to be sharing insights on how you watching them that want to give back to the open source community can join as a mentor. So stay tuned. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments. We are going to be going through questions very soon, and our mentors are available, ready to answer any question. So if you also want to connect with any of the mentors, we have their details in the description below this video. Please check it out and connect with them. All right. So the next question is what do you love most about being a mentor in the Outreachy program? And I'm going to start with Gary. So what did you enjoy most?
Maybe I'll start with what's difficult or what is kind of challenging. So the challenging is it's very exhaustive. I would say it takes a lot of mental power and a lot of energy to mentor someone for 3 months, especially if it's something that you are committed to do, and you want to do it well. It takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of energy. That's why for example, I take a mentorship, and I usually take a year pause to kind of rest after that. But all this is definitely kind of paid. It pays a lot back from what you get back. So you get back feedback from the people who are who we are mentoring. You get you see them grow. This is a fantastic observation. Like when you look at people who have not a lot of experience, but a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and they want to, and they are good in what they are doing, and how they are growing, how they are, like I mentioned the frame before, but we actually have 3 people from our Outreachy mentors who got the job in IT after the mentorship, and that was like fantastic to see them, how they are communicating later on the like LinkedIn when they found the job, and they are happy, and they are thanking Outreachy for helping them doing that. This is fantastic, and seeing like how they do much more after that when they grow, and they are becoming the like superstars sometimes, because that happens, and it happened to me, to our mentees. So this is like it's like, you know, almost like I compare it to like raising a child in a way. Yeah, like you see when it goes to the world and does fantastic things, the kid is growing. So that's pretty much the same feeling, and that's what I love most personally as a mentor.
I actually love the way you started. I am an advocate of when you talk about the good things, the wins, when you talk about your intern getting a full-time job, we should also talk about the challenges. Yes, there are challenges, but sometimes these challenges are things that motivate us to even do more and, to get the wins we are expecting. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to be asking you more questions about the challenges and how you solve them very soon. But let's go back to Stefan. Stefan, what did you enjoy? What do you enjoy most about being a mentor?
I mean, I definitely seeing an intern stick around, and after their internship, continuing to contribute, finding a job in the area and being able to work. That's really nice, because I know it changes people's lives. I know that, people, it starts their career, or they move countries and this and that. That makes you realize how valuable Outreachy can be. So that's really nice. It's something I think that, like, Jarek, is very similar to what Jarek said. So maybe I'll also mention something else that's nice. Something that's really nice is when someone who is new, who hasn't contributed to open source and maybe doesn't have that much programming experience yet, joins as an intern. It can be fun to talk to them and work with them and see what we do to build our software from their eyes, through their eyes, right? Fresh eyes. And revisit some of the things that maybe the habits and tricks that we have, and share them with them. And say, hey, you can save a lot of time by doing this, or be careful, don't do that. That can be a nice experience, because that's when we realize, we've been hacking on this stuff for so long, and there's a lot of stuff we kind of just do automatically and forget. And being able to pass that down and work with people is also a very nice experience.
Yeah, that's really motivating. Getting to see someone like Nmeso, someone like Paarth, someone like other mentors out there coming back to give back to the community and become valuable resources to the community. It's something that motivates mentors and community coordinators to do more than what they are even doing. And thank you so much for sharing that. And I really love the way this coffee chat is going, because not just we potential mentors actually gain from everything we are going to be discussing or we've been discussing. Current interns can also gain from this, because they will get insights on how can I give back to the community, how can I motivate my mentor to even do more, how can I motivate other interns or community coordinators to even do more things. And also outreach applicants are going to gain from this conversation we are having, because it's going to prepare them for that internship, what they should take note of. They should take note that, yeah, this thing is not easy for mentors. They're sacrificing a lot of time, a lot of effort, and they should give it their best as well. So let's move on to the next question, which I'm going to be asking Nmeso and Paarth. What do you wish you had learned or known before becoming a mentor? So let's start with Paarth. What do you wish you have learned?
Well, to be honest, I didn't know how to be a mentor. Like I didn't find any blogs out there. I didn't find any videos about it. So I was really curious, like how someone can be a mentor, how much qualified you need to be a mentor. So yeah, I wish I knew about that. That you just need to ask, and you can be a mentor if you're engaged with the community from before.
Awesome. I remember us talking about this, and you were like, I don't even have, there was no documentation out there on how I can be a mentor, or someone sharing their experience, and so on and so on. I know of some Outreachy mentors that publish that, and that is another reason why we're having this chat. So mentors, aspiring mentors can watch this video and get motivated and know the steps to take, the steps that other past mentors have taken, and know the steps to take in order to be part of the program. So Nmeso, let's hear from you. What do you wish you had learned?
Yeah, okay. So for me, it's not really about. Okay, so during my internship, I had mentors, and my mentors, we were communicating very well. They were basically the best thing about my internship. But then I remember one of my mentors, Funke, talking about how really stressful and how overwhelming it feels. But I really didn't table it, because then I was talking about how overwhelming the internship was for me. So how can he compare? But then coming now and being a mentor, yeah, it does compare. There's a whole lot of work in the back end, trying to find the best project, trying to the contribution period was one of the craziest parts of it all. But like knowing deeply how really taxing mentorship was would have been, I don't know, probably I was told, but I just did not register it. I felt like, coming from the internship, I felt like there's nothing that compares to this. But on its own, yeah, it is there, but the results are it's a very rewarding experience. So yeah, it's all worth it in the end. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. We'll move over to Stefan now. Stefan, what are the challenges you face as a mentor? And I want you to explain to us this way. You tell us the challenges and how you overcome these challenges.
I think the hardest part really is, as a mentor, the hardest part really is that application period, the contribution period, because you're just super busy during that time, because there will be more applicants than you have internship funding for. So there could be several people applying for the same thing. And for each of those people, you're trying to get to know them. You're trying to give them tasks that allow them to demonstrate their skills and kind of practice the open source development process, so they can get comfortable. And coming up with those tasks is not easy, right? We don't want to have contrived tasks. We want to have real tasks. And for anyone who's kind of new and watching this, one of the things that I think we try to do in Outreachy is instead of having a traditional interview process, we have a more real life kind of process where you get in touch with the mentor for the project, and they'll give you contribution tasks so that you can send a small patch to the project. You can make a small contribution. But of course, that involves work on the mentor's part, right? And being organized and having good things is very time consuming and difficult. So that's the hardest period for being a mentor. And it's still a challenge. We're always trying to find a balance as well, because I don't want to give applicants too much work, a task that involves too much of their time, right? I want to respect that. I don't want to, but at the same time, it needs to be enough so that we can see that they have the necessary technical skills to do their project.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. So let's move over to Paarth. Share with us, since you joined Outreachy as a mentor, have you faced any challenge, and were you able to navigate this challenge?
Yes, one challenge that we faced during the internship period is about time zone difference, because my time zone is Indian time zone and my intern is from Nigeria, so there's a large time gap among the whole team. One mentor is from Australia, another one from UK, so it becomes difficult to manage. So we have to be very precise about our schedules. And the other thing that I get stuck about is sometimes my intern asks me things that I don't know, like if she's working on something and I look at that and I don't know about how to go about it. So yeah, we get stuck at that time. So to prevent this from happening or to better help her, what I do is I ask her a day in advance, like what she's working on, which part she might be needing my help, so that on our weekly meetup, I can help her better in the meeting.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Let's hear from Jarek as well. What are the challenges that you faced and you want to share with our audience?
Okay, so well, let me start with like small challenges at the very beginning, and something that was mentioned before. The small challenge was like, what do I do as a mentor? How do I approach it? This was like a challenge at the very beginning. If you have no experience and have never done that, this is difficult. And what helps here, and this is something that I wish I knew before, but I know now, and I can tell everyone, like the Outreachy structure and program is so well designed and almost handholds both interns and mentors what to do and like what to focus on every week, and what things to pay attention to. That it was like super helpful, and that helped to overcome the challenge very, very quickly. And I realized that it's easy with Outreachy. So just to praise a little bit the way how it is organized. But the most challenging experience I had was when we actually did a kind of poor job in choosing the applicant. And the applicant was not really up to the tasks that we wanted to give the applicant, and we had to navigate the way to, first of all, to try different things and try to find out the tasks that are actually applicable to the mentee, who was like, she was really like trying, and she was really attempting to fulfill the tasks, but it was just not up to her skills and capabilities. And also the challenge there was like to talk to the mentee and to explain that maybe this is not the right thing for the mentee to work on, maybe something else, and trying to find out a good solution from that. That was like, I think that was the most challenging part that we had together. What helps with that, and I'm talking about together, what helps with that is that's kind of advice to others as well, to have a commentor with you. Because like being single mentor is challenging, because you have no one else to consult with. You're alone as well in case of such difficult challenges, where you have a commentor you can discuss together and try to find out a solution together and bounce off ideas from the other mentor. And that helps a lot to navigate the difficult situations, which can be challenging sometimes. So that's where I think it was really a good idea to have a commentor there.
Thank you so much for highlighting those, and especially the idea of co-mentoring. Outreachy really encourages mentors to have co-mentors, and I think just the way you've highlighted, this goes a long way in helping to solve any challenge you might face, or anything that might come up as maybe a blockers during the contribution stage or during the internship. Maybe the mentor needs to go off for some time to take care of some personal stuff or work. but not leaving the intern standing. There's a co-mentor in place to aside rubbing minds together to make decision. There's a co-mentor to replace you or stand in for you when you're not available. So if you're listening to us and probably you feel you can't mentor like interns alone, it's really advisable. Look for a co-mentor. Pata just mentioned that is a co-mentor for the Wagtail community. So it's really encouraging to apply to co-mentor with another person's, reach out, because this is of high advantage. Okay, I don't know, maybe Miso have one thing to add to everything we've been saying concerning challenges and how to overcome. Hi Miso, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Can you repeat that? My internet was bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's fine. I just asked that do you have like any challenges you face that you want to share, and maybe how you overcome the challenge?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think this kind of like also points to what Patek said earlier. I know like at a particular point in time there was this particular thing my mentee was supposed to work on, but it was, I don't know, I could not find the particular way to communicate the solution to this problem, and we had to I have like other mentors now on the same project, but they're working with different interns, and we had to figure out a way to kind of optimize this entire mentorship thing. And I know for us now, what we had to do is we now like co-mentor the three interns, so we keep everybody in the loop of everything, just so that if at any point someone needs to pick up or kind of help out with something, it's more of you continuing, and you don't have to learn everything from the beginning to catch up with the intern. So that was one major way we try to overcome it. So yeah, co-mentoring has been very helpful for us.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. Co-mentoring is very helpful, and you just like confirm that again by sharing your own experience. So let's ask this question. What will you lots of our audience or persons that are going to listen to this chat later, some persons might not join us now, might be asking, so what will you tell me as someone who is aspiring to join Outreachy as a mentor? Is there something motivating, something encouraging that you want to share with me or you want to tell me? So let's start with Paarth. Do you have something to tell someone out there that is considering joining Outreachy as a mentor?
Yes, I'll say it's a rewarding experience. Like you get to help many contributors, you can grow your community, and you get excellent networking opportunities. Like there's dedicated Outreachy Zulu channel where you can meet with previous Outreachy interns, all the mentors, organizers. So that's really amazing if you see it this way, that you can communicate with everyone around the world working on open source projects, finding like-minded people. So yeah, definitely worth a shot.
Yes, definitely what is. So you've heard that, and we're still going to get more from our intern, our mentors. So let's hear more from Stefan. What will you tell someone out there?
Sure. I mean, if you're thinking about doing it, definitely go for it. If you want to hear some of the advantages, I think some advantages that haven't been mentioned yet is that Outreachy is a great way for you to try mentorship and essentially managing a small project. Maybe it's something you haven't done before, or something you don't do in your job. Of course, if you did it for your job, there would be bigger expectations, and it would be, it would feel more scary, and it would be more serious. Whereas in Outreachy, as Jarek mentions, there's support, right? There's information, there's help on doing this, and everyone knows, you're a volunteer. So it is a great way to try doing this. Like, can you run a project? Can you work with an intern and help them achieve their project goal?
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Jarek, do you have anything to share with someone out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So I very much concur with Stefan about the not being afraid. It's like this is something that going to or starting Outreachy adventure, and I would say that this is an adventure, really, is not risky at all. Like it's like something that you can take on. Well, there is a little bit of risk because you take a little bit of responsibility for people you're mentoring, a little bit, but just a little. You're not managing those people; you're just mentoring them. So you're not really at the same level of responsibility as a manager of people. But you can help them, and this is important. Another thing that I want to mention, and this is something that I particularly like about my past experiences with Outreachy, is you can get some friends, you can gain some friends. That's what I like. Uh, I'm really friends. I became a friend with the mentees I was mentoring, and we are regularly communicating after the mentorship, the internship, and I'm observing them. And there are things like literally in a week from now, I'm going to FOSDEM, to the conference in Brussels, and one of my mentees from last year, Edith, she became a developer advocate, and she's giving presentation there at FOSDEM, and we will have the opportunity to meet finally. She's from Peru, I'm from Poland, and now we meet in Brussels, and we cannot wait to have a beer together and like chat, because we are we became friends, and I cannot wait to go there simply to meet her. So that's something that you can get from the internship. You can just have very good relationships with people, and that's very worth it, I would say.
Awesome, awesome. And this is something I love advocating for. Aside building open source projects, the Outreachy internship program really encourages you and motivates you to work as a team, get to meet more persons from different kind of background, different regions, people outside your own circle, get to connect with them. And this is a very good way of building like your network and even your career, because you get people who are very good in other fields, have a bigger circle out there, introduce you to more opportunities, just like someone introduces Outreachy mentorship to Garrick. So you get to meet the same person, a lot of persons in that way. So it's good. You'll be going to FOSDEM. Our grants, we also have Karen, our that's the Outreachy grants and sponsorship lead. She will be at the event as well, and that will be another very good way to catch up with
Absolutely.
another Outreachy intern and mentors. Okay, awesome. So let's move to the next questions, and I think this is like a very important question, because now our audience have heard what motivated you, how you joined, and the challenges you faced. They've gotten words of encouragement from you. They want to know about your community more, especially in the aspects of the models you have in place for persons who are probably interested. From everything you've said so far, someone who is interested in joining your various communities. So we need you to highlight the models that your community has in place for persons who want to join as mentor. And let's start with Stefan.
Sure. So what we do, I mentioned that we do a kind of call for mentors. So before a round of internships begins, we first want to see who in our community wants to be a mentor. And the people who respond to that, they'll work with the organization administrator. So in our case, that's me. And I will actually send them out emails. I have a whole series of emails that are kind of, I reuse from year to year, and I tweak a little bit that guide people through it. So if it's your first time being a mentor, you will have guidance, you will have advice, and you'll know what the next thing to do is. So that will get you started. And the other point that is very important that was mentioned already is co-mentoring. If you mentor together with other people, the pressure will not be wholly on you. If you're in a different time zone, that will not be as big of a deal because there'll be someone else you're mentoring with and so on. And that makes the whole experience a lot easier. It's also a great way to incorporate people who are specialists. Like sometimes we will co-mentor with someone who is a specialist and maybe doesn't even contribute to QEMU, but a related project. And that way we can get real experts in from some areas of software and some technologies that maybe we don't really have. And that's been really, really cool. So all of these things basically just mean that, yes, you'll have support in becoming a mentor.
Yes, you have support in becoming a mentor. So if you want to join the community, please go ahead and connect with our mentor, and you can ask more questions. You can join their community. You can find the community list on the Outreachy website, and yeah, they are ready to support you to come in as a mentor. So let's move to Nmeso. Nmeso, do you share with us what Oppia community has in place for persons who wants to join the community as a mentor? You're muted.
Yeah, I just figured. Speaking to that, just to add to what Stefan said, I know most of mentors, at least that I'm aware of, have been coming from the community itself. So we try to, because we need to have people that at least know a bit of what we do and like the processes and how process is set for how we do it, but not to discourage anyone. Getting familiar, because we have like past projects and we have like blogs written about like things we've been doing so far. So getting familiar with this, with our past projects now. Once we put out the call for mentorship, you could send an email with maybe ideas you have, because we welcome new ideas. We really do welcome new ideas. We want to find out how we could help our project be better. So if you have new ideas, when we put out the call, you can always like get back to us with your project ideas, and then we help in the formulation. So it's not like you get to form the project all by yourself. We have steps, and it's more of a guidance thing. So you have your idea, and we form it together. If you feel like it is worth a while, then you submit, and it goes through. But for people that are within the community, it's more of, oh yeah, we work on it. Then we have like, so we've already identified that, oh yeah, this is one gap we want to address in the next cycle, and then we have people that can come up and take up that as the team or the lead for the project, and work together to get that done. So yeah, that's that for my project.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that beautiful insight. And let's hear from Wagtail community. So Patel, do you want to share with us the models your community have in place for persons that want to join as a mentor?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone can propose a random project out of nowhere, because all of the project ideas that we have have long discussion threads from months, and like they've been discussed, refined over, and then we select them as a project for Outreachy or Google Summer of Code. But I think we are open to accept projects from outside if someone has a really good project and have been involved with our community. And as far as for being a mentor, I think it's as open as just asking us about it. And if the person has been involved with our community, then definitely we'll allow.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And finally, I think I'm missing Jarek, right? I want to know about your community. Tell us more about your community and the models you have for new persons that want to join.
So we have probably a little bit the different approach. What we do usually, we just mention the past project. We just when we have a call for mentors, we just mentioned, okay, those are the projects we were successfully delivering together with our interns. Because I didn't mention that we don't only observe people growing and raise them and help them to get to become the valuable member of the community, but also we actually deliver projects and the useful ones. Actually, we delivered quite a number of useful things during our internships, and we just shared that. Look, those are the things that we've done in the past. Look for some, if you have an idea for something similar to lead and make a project which is not like super critical, because you cannot do a really critical thing, but something that is rather straightforward, easy, but you never have time, but you have a passion to do, you want to implement this kind of product, then start being mentor, and maybe you can deliver that without actually doing that, because the interns can do it for you and with you actually. And this is how we kind of advertise or promote the idea. And instead of like giving some kind of detailed guidelines, because we know Outreachy will do that, we just say, okay, it's safe, it's easy to start. We have the experience with that, and we as past mentors, because we have now several mentors, we can help you to become a mentor. So we offer, if you have a question, if you have any help, we can help you, or even commentor the project with you, because sometimes like somebody raises a project and one of the past commentors will say, okay, I'm happy to be commentor on this project as well and help you. So we are more encouraging people to use the past successes of ours and take a blueprint from that.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your models. We really appreciate that. So before we check the comments from our audience, I can see Anna and Sage already answering some questions that are directed to the Outreachy organizers. Though there is one particular question that I can see from someone, I think that's directed to the mentors. We are going to go to that later. For persons that are just joining us, this is Outreachy mentors chart, coffee charts, and this chart is between the Outreachy organizers, mentors, and co-coordinators, community coordinators. And the essence of having this chart is to learn more about our mentors, to highlight them, spotlight them, the beautiful work they're doing as Outreachy, spotlight their community projects, their community as well, and their projects. So you can listen to the chart from the beginning to if you missed that section. And also they've shared with us what motivated them to join Outreachy as a mentor, the challenges they faced, if any, and how they overcome these challenges. They've also shared some tips if you are considering to join Outreachy as a mentor. They've shared some motivational tips, some things that can make you believe, okay, this is something you can do. They also share their experience. They've shared with us models as well. I'm going to be allowing them to share more details again about their community and the project, and how you can join the community. For say persons who have probably not come across the project before, how can they join? I think that is something important we should talk about. How can they find your project? How can they join the community so that they can network with mentors, community coordinators that are there, and they can propose new projects or join Outreachy as a mentor. I think we should talk about that before we move to the next section. So let's start with Stefan. Do you want to tell us more about your project again, your community project, and how people can find your community?
Absolutely. So so I'm with QEMU. QEMU is an emulator. So it runs virtual machines, and it supports a large number of different CPU architectures. I think we're like maybe even above 20 now. So everything you'd expect, like x86 and ARM and so on. It's used in a number of different ways. It can be used for virtualization, which is very common for web hosting or cloud server hosting. But people also use it for development. For example, if they're doing Raspberry Pi or microcontroller or ARM development, and they don't have the physical hardware, they don't want to plug in the physical hardware because the development cycle can be a bit tedious when you're constantly transferring onto this little board. Sometimes they use emulators instead, and QEMU can do that. So it can emulate a bunch of these different boards and let you do everything in software on your computer instead of having to physically reboot these boards every time you test your software. So it has a number of uses. It's systems programming. It's written mostly in C. There's also some Python, and we've been doing some Rust stuff lately as well. So those are the types of projects we have. So please come check us out. The domain is QEMU.org, QEMU. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for sharing. We are also going to share the link to the community in the description after the chat, so you can check there, and you can also see the community that each of these mentors are from on their description, like their name. Also, okay, so let's move to Pata. Do you want to tell us more about your project and how people can join both to communicate, to contribute as an intern and as a mentor?
Definitely. So I'm from Wagtail. Wagtail is a Python-based CMS. It's one of the most leading CMS out there. It's based on Django. We use JavaScript, Python around it. And if you want to join Wagtail, you can join our Slack channel for support. And there's wagtail.org. You can check it out.
Hello, Pata, are you still there? I think you're muted. While you're trying to come back,
Network
let's
is choppy right now.
Yes, you can go on.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes, you are.
so I come from Wagtail. Wagtail is the open source CMS based on Python Django, and it on Slack. You can join our Slack channel. There's support and new contributors, there's guidance, and you can check out on wagtail.org. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much for sharing that. After this chat, our mentors can as well share more details about the community, maybe links and everything in the comments. That's after the live chat. So let's move over to Miso. Miso, do you want to share with us some things about the Oppia community and how persons can join? Hi, Miso.
Okay. Yeah. Hi. So, for my community to get in contact with us, we have on our website, oppia.org, we have a volunteer page where you can just, you go there and then you fill in what you want to volunteer for us as. So we have both code and non-code rules, very open for everyone. And so once you fill this in, we have someone reach out to you based on like whatever you want to do for the community. So like I said, we have like user researchers, we have people, we have the code, and we have project management and a lot of other things, a lot of other good stuff we are trying to do to get the project together. And so once you fill that out there, I will give Omotola the volunteer link. Probably she will add it to the description. So once you go there and you fill in the details, get reached out to and you join the community. So yeah, it's that easy. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. Gary.
Yes. So I'm from Apache Airflow. Apache Airflow is a Python again, similar like Paarth Python application, and it's one of the most popular workflow orchestrators in the world. We have quite a huge community of both users and contributors. 2,300 contributors. That's a lot of people. And 10,000 users were participating in last year's Airflow Summit, which I co-organized, which was like an online conference. So that's a lot of users. So the community is big, and you can ask for you can join it from airflowapache.org, airflow.apache.org. There is a website of our project, and there is a community tab that you can click on the left side, and there are all the information about like GitHub, Slack, discussion, mailing list, and all the other ways you can participate. Very good rules, very clear rules. We have a list of good first issues that you can start taking a look at and contributing, or discussions you can take part in. We have very easy way how to, for example, update the documentation. It's like very well embedded in the GitHub workflow of pull requests. So it's super easy to start contributing small and then grow your way into becoming later a committer and then mentor to others. And we have lots of people who can help in the community. So this is like, I think the important thing is just to start and see how it goes, because this is the best kind of process that you can follow. Just start, find a thing that you can easily improve, or you are passionate about, or you want to take one of the issues there and start doing it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, our guest, for sharing details about your community and how persons can join. We just shared in the comments link to volunteer at Oppia, and also link to, about the QEMU, how they run the Outreachy internship. So if you're looking for how to mentorship or how to pick a good project, kindly check that. Project ideas, etc. Okay. For everybody who are just joining, kindly note that if the Outreachy is actually calling out for mentoring organization, communities in open source and open science, and currently the application is ongoing. So feel free to join. You can check the Outreachy website for details on how to for communities that are participating in the Outreachy program for this year. So feel free to reach out to them, these communities. Feel free to reach out to these communities to submit your application, propose new projects, and so on and so forth. Please note that the deadline to submit if your organization wants to participate in this coming internship round, the deadline is 10th of February 2023 at 4 p.m. UTC. And for organizations, communities that are going to be participating, the deadline for the mentors to submit projects that the Outreachy interns are going to be working on is February 23, 2023. So that is for that. Thank you so much once again, everyone. And the question we have here before we go to last word. Thank you so much for sharing this. So someone is appreciating the mentors for committing their time to this. This is massively helpful in learning more about the application and the internship. Thank you so much for your kind words. Our mentor really appreciate that. Please feel free to connect with the mentors. So we have a question from someone from the audience, and they said, what's your favorite qualities in an Outreachy intern? So this question is somehow, but I really want us as a mentor, I'm going to rephrase it. As a mentor, what can an Outreachy applicant, maybe let's start from the contribution stage, do to make them to make you actually be interested in them? I mean, what are the qualities that they are going to have, or they should put in mind to have? What are the things you want to see applicants, those are the contributors for the contribution stage, what do you want to see in them? And then for interns who are already on the program, what are the qualities you want to see in them? So let me start with Stefan.
There's one thing that's really important for Outreachy, because it is a remote internship. You need to be able to drive the project yourself. And sometimes what people say is they say that Outreachy is like a fellowship. It means that you have this grant, you have this funding to do your work, but a lot of the responsibility really lies on you yourself. So that's why it's important to pick a project where you have the necessary technical skills, something that you can do, something that you can break down into tasks yourself, and where you will be able to ask your mentor questions, of course, but really, if you're able to drive, then you will be successful.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, Miso, what do you think? What do you want to see in contributors and interns that will make you really want to, mentor them more?
Okay. So for my project, for projects here on Outreachy, we do a lot of user research. trying to understand what is actually happening in the country. So sometimes now conducting like user studies, a lot of people make the mistake of having so many studies, but the studies not having like really good amounts of information in them. So and we say this all the time. We are always like quality over quantity, and I feel like that also translates to a lot of communities here. So what we want to see in an intern is someone that takes like taking the information you are given the amount of contributions you have to put out there, like the quality of it, how much of a story you're willing to tell with that contribution, because we're a lot story based. So I can say story. So how much of a story you're willing to tell, how much insight you are given with your project, with your contribution. So that is a major thing for us: communication, being able to talk and being able to show us really what is on ground without us having to guess so much about the in between. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome, insightful tips. Okay, let's move over to Paarth now.
Yeah, I think one of the best things that you can do to make your application look better is you can contribute and communicate. The intern we selected to love it. I think she was the best communicator among all of them, and her contributions really spoke for us. For her, like even before her application, we knew her. We got to know her. Like her name is popping everywhere in repositories, and we saw like yeah, definitely she'll be able to succeed.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that as well. Let's move finally to Gary.
Uh, I would add like all the things that Stefan, all of you mentioned before is important. I would, and then I would say the same, exactly the same things, like the self drive, the being able to like contribute to the repository and show your contributions, and all the other things that you mentioned. But I would add one more thing: is like the being able to self-drive thing is important, but also just judging well when to ask for help. I think this is super important. Not too early, like just spend your time on trying to solve the problem yourself, to gather at least the knowledge, and show that you've done some work on trying out. And when you ask question, you're already armed with all the, what you didn't know, and what you did to solve the problem. But not wait too long as well, to be stuck on something for too long, because mentor can help. Judging this, like when to ask the question, not too early, not too late, is this kind of quality that actually distinguishes the good interns from the best ones. The best ones, they know exactly where to ask questions when they need help. And I think this is something that is very difficult to judge initially, but it's important to remember not to do it too early, not to do it too late.
Yeah, very important. Don't do it too early, don't do it too late. So if you miss any of these tips, kindly go over, watch back, like watch the contents that the values that our mentors have shared. So lastly, let me appreciate our mentors once again for joining. But before you leave, I really love you to give us your last word for this chat, for this coffee chat, this episode. Give us something from your end to the Outreachy mentors out there, other Outreachy mentors, the Outreachy applicants, those that are just applying, the interns that are currently in the program, and the Outreachy organizers. So I'm going to start with Stefan.
Well, we just talked about tips for interns, and I just wanted to add that don't let these things intimidate you. If you are, if you're not sure, if you really have all these qualities or whatever, don't let that intimidate you. Go ahead and give Outreachy a try.
Awesome, thank you so much. Nmeso, kindly share tips that you would like, any word that you want to give applicants, interns, and the Outreachy organizers. Anyone?
Yeah, okay. So one of the major tips I'll give to interns, apart from like managing expectations and applying, put out your best and you hope to get in. I do want to point out that I applied for Outreachy twice. So I applied the first round, didn't get in, and I tried again and I got in. So um well, delay is really not denial. So if you are really interested, if you really want to contribute to a project, apply. Just keep applying. Keep with the community. Keep contributing to the community. You get to learn more. You get to know more, and so you'll be able to make a stronger, better application in the next round. So that is one thing I would say.
Awesome, awesome. You learn from the process. You will learn. We have success story from applicants who probably didn't get across the contribution stage, but from there they were able to like continue contributing. Someone actually wrote a book after the contribution stage and they're earning from it. Somebody actually started coordinating another community outside outreach program, and a lot of persons actually tried again and they got in. So get those tips, hold on to it, yeah, and you finally get there. So let's move to Gareth now.
I think the one important thing for everyone here is that I think Outreachy is one of the best opportunities to meet other people and to interact with other people. And I think it's very important to treat everyone else as a equal human to you and just a human being. And remembering that it doesn't really matter if you're talking to a mentor or organizer or to the intern. Just treat everyone else as a fellow human being, and that helps a lot. Because everyone has emotions, everyone has feelings, everyone has experiences and bad or good days, and just treating everyone as a human on the other side helps a lot, without putting too much of a structure and hierarchy or things like that. Just I think that's one of the important things.
Yes, awesome. That is it. Thank you so much for sharing. And finally, Pata, let's hear from you. Any words from you to other persons outside there?
I'd like to thank Outreachy, all the mentors, participants, and interns for their work for open source, because whatever work we do for open source, we're reaching thousands or maybe millions of people out there in the world. So keep doing this good thing, and yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that is it. I really enjoyed the first series of this coffee chat, and I'm looking forward to more chats that are going to be coming up later. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and special thanks to the Outreachy mentors and community coordinators that joined us today. We are going to be having another series 2 of this coffee chat. That is in February, on 6th of February, this same time, and kindly look forward to that. So I hope everybody have learned one or two things. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Special thanks to our guest today. I appreciate you so much for joining and making this chat awesome. I really enjoyed every insight you shared. Thank you so much, everyone. And we've come to head up to the end of this series. And yeah, see everyone next time on the next series. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.